Good morning. Here's some seats right here. Huh? Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah. Good morning.
Okay, 10 or so seconds.
Crash. You landed? You landed in a plane? Good morning. Welcome to the church. I'm Jesse Peterson. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and Hake will give me the questions and comments, all right? Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
How's everybody? Amazing. Before I get rolling, anybody here for the first time? Oh, nice. This your first time?
Well, on Sunday, yeah.
Oh, okay. This your first time?
Yes.
Nice. And what's your name and how did you find us?
Chris from Pittsburgh, and on YouTube.
Right
Found you on
on.
YouTube a couple years ago, probably about 2 years now,
Yeah.
and been hooked ever since.
Well, welcome, man.
Great,
Nice.
thank you.
Right here.
I'm Dana from Pittsburgh.
Hey,
and
Dana.
he kind of turned me on to your show, so I've been listening to.
What did you think about the show?
At first, it took me a while to get acclimated to it and all. But,
And
but
why?
yeah, I had to think differently, I guess. Yeah.
You still think I hate women?
Yep.
You still think?
Yep.
And why do you think I hate women?
I don't know. Just the way you talk about women sometimes.
The way I talk about them?
Yeah.
Like what, for example?
Just like the leadership roles and stuff that were not an equal, but I understand now, like the emotions and the feelings, and you just kind of think about it differently.
You can turn the mic for me? I can't hear you.
You just think about it differently. At first, I just automatically went to like, wow, he's not fair. He's not being fair to women, and but then the more you listen, you're not as harsh as I first thought.
Yeah.
The more you listen to you,
It was
kind
like
of
a
opens your
shock.
mind a little bit.
It was like a shock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what did you say about women in leadership?
Yeah, like we shouldn't hold the role in leadership because of our emotions.
Do you disagree with that?
At first I did, and now I can understand. I'm definitely more open to it now. Yeah.
And what do you understand about it now that you didn't beforehand?
Because we are emotional.
What's wrong with y'all?
You couldn't do without us, though.
I'm sorry?
You couldn't do without us, though.
If you weren't emotional?
No, just women in general. I mean,
Well, we need women
everyone.
to make babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need women to make babies.
Is that
cook-
all?
Cook and clean.
Okay, that's what I didn't like about it. We're worth more than that.
I'm sorry?
We're more than that.
Like what else?
Like we're the other part of what you need, I think, to be whole.
Right.
Yeah.
Cooking and cleaning and have babies. Since we can't do that part,
I'm
that's
not
what
a
you got.
maid. I'm not a maid.
What?
I'm not a maid.
No, you're a housewife. Right?
No.
No, you're not a housewife?
No.
What are you?
I don't know. Next. I don't know else want to talk.
So you said that women are worth more than that, but you never did tell me what else they're for.
I think everyone has their worth. Like you can't just say, okay, that's a woman. She can cook. She can clean. I mean, I'm more than that.
Like what?
I deserve the same respect as a man.
Right. We all should treat each other with love and
Yeah.
be kind. But that doesn't keep the woman out of the kitchen.
I don't have a problem because I love to cook and I love to clean.
Right.
But there's other women I know, like, I don't know, I'm on the fence.
See what happens when you think about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I've been doing. You know,
Yeah.
he's been telling me about Jesse Lee, and I'm like, oh, please turn him off because he listens to you all the time and in the morning and stuff. But you definitely have a different way of thinking things that I didn't think of. Yeah.
You should see things a little clearer now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what happens when you wake up. Your mind become clearer.
Mm-hmm.
And things that didn't make sense are starting to make sense now.
Right. I think the silent prayer really helped me, to think.
Yeah.
And then forgive your mama. Like, honestly, it's not that my mother was perfect. I don't know what I have to forgive her for.
For being emotional.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Okay, but we're all,
But we all what?
emotional women.
We all need to be forgiven.
True.
So had you thought about forgiving her because she was so emotional?
No, I never would have thought to forgive her.
Emotions destroy children.
Yeah.
And that's why they become like their parents, and the cycle repeats itself.
Yeah.
You have kids?
Yes.
See how you screwed them up?
Yes.
You
We did.
see
We
that?
both did, though.
Both, we're just talking about you, though. She feel better when she include you. You know how we'll do wrong, and we don't like it if we did it ourselves, but if we include someone else, we feel better about it. Have you
guess.
apologized to your children for screwing them up?
Yeah, I have. After your show.
Oh,
I did.
good.
Yeah.
How did they respond to that?
They understood. And they forgave me.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 So are they adults?
Yeah.
So have you set them free now?
Yeah, they're free. They're all independent. On
So
their own.
they don't have to call you every day, or you're not calling them every day?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
Doesn't that feel better?
I miss them, but I'm good. Like, weekly phone call here and there. Yeah.
Right. And why do you miss them?
I missed raising them. I enjoyed being a mom
Why don't you get
And raise
pregnant
them.
again then?
because
Just keep having babies until you don't miss them anymore.
he's the one that went and got fixed. So
Oh, he did?
He did.
Oh, man. What a beta.
he's not beta. No.
If he got fixed, he's beta.
He didn't want any more kids,
Wow.
and I did.
So now you're feeling embarrassed, huh? She told all your little business.
It's so worth the trip.
How many do you have? How many kids do you have?
Oh, how many do we have? He's
You
got,
have
he's got
5?
an interesting story.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, what's your story?
Here you go.
I did an ancestry test a year and a half ago, and discovered I had a son when I was in the military, and he's now 35, and he
Wow.
lives 20 minutes from here. And so
From you, you say?
yeah,
And you didn't know it?
I never knew.
Wow.
His mom passed away, and he'd been searching for his father his whole life, and his mom didn't know who the father was, and it was forbidden to ask her, any questions about who his father was, and she was real mean, and she was in the military too, and she was real militant, and she told him that his father is God, and that's it. But
Wow. Is she dead now?
she did.
Oh, good. She did.
She did. She did. But he'd been looking for his father his whole life, and he had that ancestry test out there for 5 years, looking for a match. And he kept finding all these Spanish people, but he had no idea nobody could connect to me. And then I just did it just for fun. And then he he found me, and he was, and since then, his life, he changed his last name because he's been walking around with a fake last name.
So he
And
took on your last name?
He took on my last name. He went to
Nice.
court here in LA and changed his name. And we just visited him. He just got married and he just had a baby. And he's just like so excited about life.
I bet.
Yeah,
Nothing like returning to the Father.
yeah.
That's amazing, man. So what was it like for you to see him for the first time?
Well, I could see in his eyes there was something very, very convincing. His eyes, I could sense that he is family. I kind of thought he was more on my brother's side, but seeing him, I can tell he truly is.
Nice.
And then I could see me in him.
Right on.
And it's been real. We talk a lot, and his lifestyle is different than mine. I've always been somewhat of a conservative person, and he's very artsy, and he's in a band, and he travels, and he's a different lifestyle than me.
Right.
But it's really been strong, just getting to talk to him,
Nice,
and
man.
introducing him to his siblings and everyone. She just met him for the first time a couple of days ago,
Right on.
and so I've spent a lot of time just talking with him, and I've met him now. This is my third or fourth time meeting him.
Does he call you Dad?
Yeah, he calls me Pops, Dad, Father. It's kind of strange. We were
Yeah.
kind of figuring out, what do I call you? I'm like, you call me whatever you want.
I
Yeah.
noticed that when fathers don't raise their children, and if they finally meet them, the kids call them Pop.
Yeah.
Or
That's what he's calling me.
they don't know exactly what to
to
call
call
them.
me, yeah.
So most of the time they end up calling you Pops.
That's exactly what he calls me, Pops.
Yeah.
And it was a weird name because my kids always call me Dad.
Right.
So I'm like,
I noticed my son call me Pops.
ah.
And sometimes he try to call me Dad, but it's hard to get out because it doesn't feel, it didn't grow up
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Would he ever get over that?
I'm sorry?
Would he ever get over that to call me Dad? Probably never, huh?
I
At this
don't know.
point.
I
It's
don't
kind
think
of
so.
tough. Mhm.
Maybe, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't need him to call me Dad.
Yeah.
Nice.
Likewise. Likewise.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think I have some more kids out there somewhere.
Don't take that test.
I better do the DNA. Well, I'm not going to do it because I may have too many. And they want money.
Said I was going to get a T-shirt that says, hey, take your DNA. Real man take a DNA test.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. This is your first time, you say? No, right here, right? The young lady in the brown. Hi. What's your name?
Jessica.
Oh, nice name. And how did you find us?
Actually, my boyfriend and his friends invited us.
Right on. Have you heard any of the shows or anything?
I have not.
So
No.
you don't know I hate women?
I didn't know that. That was a shock.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Is your boyfriend alpha male or beta male? Is he an alpha male or a beta male?
Oh no. Still trying to figure it out.
Oh, you know. A woman can tell a weak man a mile away. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
All right. This your first time?
Yes,
Oh, what's your first name?
Alejandra.
Alejandra. Welcome.
Thank you.
And how did you hear about us?
The same, we're all friends here.
Oh, right
Yeah.
on. Have you heard any of the shows?
I have.
And do you think I hate women too?
Yes.
Oh, good. and why?
I just think it's how you kind of like place them to be. It's like how she was saying, us as women, we're more than just, either a housewife and, cooking, cleaning, raising kids, we're more than that, We,
What else are
we
you?
stand next to a man.
I'm sorry?
We stand next to the man.
Right, having his babies.
No.
What else are you?
I'm his best friend.
Right.
I'm his best friend. I'm his girlfriend. I'm a backbone, exactly.
Backbone?
If he
So
falls,
you-
I'm there. I'm there to support him, and it's a vice versa thing.
Oh, so you're his backbone, so if he fall, he could borrow your back?
No.
What do you mean by that?
We're a support system, you know, so it's like he can't just handle everything. So that's where the woman comes in.
Meaning like paying the bills and things at the house while he's at work?
No, I mean, I work too, you know, so we're joined. It's both of us.
If you were married with children, would you still work?
Of course.
And why?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about nowadays, you need two incomes
you do nowadays,
to live reasonably.
But let's say all being well, if everything was fine, would you still want to work?
Yes,
And why?
because I'm not the type that could stay home. I'll go crazy.
You would go crazy.
Yeah.
So why get married then?
Because I want to have somebody to come home to. I want somebody I could share dinner with. I want to be able to have a home.
And you couldn't have that without a husband?
Oh, I could definitely have it. I mean, to me, you know, just the word husband it's just a word, you know. You
Oh,
could
it
live
is?
with somebody and you could still do the same things as husband and wife.
That's amazing. And how did you come up with all these ideas?
I've always had these ideas. I mean, I guess the way that I was raised.
Oh, you were raised that way? So your father and mother were not together?
No,
Oh, so those ideas came from your mother?
I want to say yes.
So suppose they're not your own ideas then?
I mean, it's just the way that I view them, you know, and a little bit of what my mom, you know, raised me to be, and just seeing how our society is.
Yeah. Well, forgive your mother for that. You know what I mean? Because don't you, or do you think the children need you to be home while dad is off working?
Yes, but what about when they're in school? I can't just be home.
No, you can be busy cleaning and cooking, washing and ironing.
It doesn't take a full day to do all that.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. If you're slow, maybe yes.
You could go grocery shopping there.
You don't need 5 days out of the week to do that.
Amazing. Okay, I understand. Nice. Anybody else first time? Any question for me? No. Okay. You said this is your first time for Sunday, right? But you've been to. Oh, yeah. I remember you from the men meeting. Okay. Anybody here have friends? Oh, so everybody have friends, right? You have friends? Wait a minute. You growing, you're getting tall. Amazing. You have friends? And what is a friend?
Somebody I can like talk to and hang out with.
Someone you can talk to and hang out with? Do you need them?
Not really. I mean, I think I'd be fine on my own, but I do like having them.
You like have, but you would be fine on your own? Okay. So a friend to you is someone that you need, that means that you have to talk to and kind of hang out with?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You have friends?
I do.
And what's your purpose of having a friend?
I guess to hang out with, but I could do without it.
I'm sorry?
I guess to hang out with. I mean, I hang out with them, but I'm fine if I don't. I'm fine if I do.
How do you know you're fine if you don't have one?
Because I don't really seek it. I don't really I'm not the person that's calling, hey, let's do this. So,
Have over a lifetime so far, have you had friends that would come and go? Different people be different friends?
yeah, maybe 3 or 4.
Over a lifetime, you only have 3 or 4 friends?
But I
You
mean
di-
that come and go. Like
Oh.
the friends that I've had since like 3rd grade.
Oh, really?
You know, so yeah.
And so, as an adult, have you made new friends?
Like friends of my daughter, like their mothers.
Oh, I see. And do you need them?
No,
Oh, okay. So why do you have them?
I think because my daughter like hangs out with them, and
Oh, I
you know,
see.
I mean they.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right. Do you have friends? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And what's your purpose of having friends?
As soon as you asked that question a moment ago, I actually have never considered that. But the first thing my mind gets drawn to was, even though this is addressed to females, was when God decided to make the woman, and it's like it's not good for man to be alone. And I
Speak
always
up a little bit.
and I always thought that having a best friend, not like a coworker, acquaintance, somebody that you really know, that you can trust, who's also a Christian as well, it's almost as like we have everything against us what Satan's trying to throw at us, right? And to have a best friend, someone that you can confide in, but also kind of go to war with in a way, is that you're not alone in that battle.
Did you say to go to war with?
Against the world. Basically, war against spiritual warfare, kind of war battle,
So you have friends, they have to be like someone you can confide in, right? You said that?
Sure.
They have to be a Christian?
Yeah.
Whoa, you have a checklist, huh?
I guess now I do.
Someone to go to war with?
Sure.
What type of war?
Spiritual war.
And how will a friend go to spiritual war with you?
Well, to sort of go back a second, when, checklist, right, with Christian, I think to have a secular friend, there's only a certain amount of relation you can build off of that. Someone who doesn't know God, someone who doesn't trust God, someone who even hates God. There's only so much you can do. So, to go to war with, is that if there's someone who can understand that, you're struggling or you're going through something, not to say that you're dependent on it, right, that they can interpret the situation better than you can, because maybe you're having a moment of emotion, right? Or possibly you're just alone for
Have
a
you
moment.
had Christian friends who hated God?
I had Christian friends who were sinning and had no idea that they were. I don't know that they hated God, though. Well, I guess in that moment they are hating God when they sin, but yeah.
And so did you get rid of them?
Some, yes. Some kind of figured it out and no
What
longer
would it
do
be
that.
for you if you didn't have a friend?
I'd have God. I'd have Christ.
And have you lost friends before?
Yes.
And how did you feel when you lost them?
Didn't bother
This is
me.
a fellowship, so just relax. It's not a test.
I would say before learning about God, it would just bother me, start gossiping about it. Oh, my goodness. Being saved, it really doesn't faze me,
So if you lost a friend now, it wouldn't bother you?
The ego's so low at this point, probably not.
Oh,
no
okay.
freaking way.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The guy in the white shirt. The white guy in the white shirt. You have a friend?
More of acquaintances, I guess. I travel a lot, so I'm alone most of the time. I have my wife. That's about it.
This your first time here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is your first time? Oh, what's your name?
Ian,
Ian. How did you find out about us?
my wife showed me.
And so you say you have acquaintances but not friends.
Yeah. Maybe like one
You have one friend.
acquaintance.
So have you ever had a friend?
Maybe people that I thought were friends when I was growing up, but after about like middle school, I kind of realized what people's intentions were. And it was kind of like, I'm on my path, and then someone else wants to join that, then all right, but I'm not forcing nobody. I'm not trying to go out of my way to, you know what I mean?
And so you had friends while you were growing up, you say?
Until about, say, 12.
12? You say 12?
Yes, sir.
So you haven't had a friend since you were 12 years old?
No, I guess. I'm myself, and then I have acquaintances doing certain things, but everyone kind of like fades off, and I keep doing my stuff.
And so are you a good friend to people? Have you ever been a friend?
I'm very helpful and like willing to do stuff for people, but I don't need much from other people.
You don't? Nice. Let me ask your wife. You have friends?
No,
You
not
don't have
really.
You don't?
No, I got a lot of siblings, and we were homeschooled for a while,
Oh, okay.
and we were taught that they're our friends.
Oh, you were?
Or, yeah.
And were they your friend?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, sure.
Even your siblings were not really friends?
That has happened.
I'm sorry?
I'll say no, not really.
They were not really friends?
No.
And why not?
Well, it was 8 of us, and 5 of us have the same mom and dad. So probably the ones that didn't have the same dad, they were like, didn't treat us mean or nothing, but just kind of
Speak from the
different.
chest.
Just kind of different.
Yeah, so you didn't get along with them?
We did get along. Just now as adults, I guess we're like on our own paths now. And it's just like, okay, you're my sister. You're my brother. Hey, bye.
But stay away. I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Why is it hard to say it?
'Cause they're my siblings, but it's not like stay away, like every time I'm around you, it's a horrible time. It's just like, I've been around you for a long time. I'm good, I know you.
Right.
Yeah,
Kind of don't come back until Christmas.
basically, basically. Right.
Isn't that a mess? Do you need friends?
No,
If you were married, would you need friends?
no,
Do you have kids?
no.
Are you willing to stay home and have babies and stay
Absolutely,
in the kitchen?
yes.
Uh-huh.
The first video that I watched of yours was called "All Women Are Evil," and when I watched it, I was relieved. I
were
was like,
relieved.
"Thank God."
It would call all women are evil?
Yeah, or women have no love, or something about women and evil.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I was relieved. I was
You were
like,
relieved?
yes,
And why?
because I was like, "Thank God, I'm not really crazy. It's not really me,
Yeah.
so I can help it."
Right on. Yeah. Nice. Okay. So we have a mother that's really a woman that want to stay home and have babies. Right here, you have friends?
I do.
And why?
When I was in my fallen state, I made my friends, and I've only kept 2 of the many that I thought I had. So, and with those 2 that I do have, we're not consistent. We've had falling outs, and I mean, but we pick up where we leave off. But I think I do it more for like, maybe, I would say for my sanity, but it's not for that. It's just, I don't know, for a social life, I guess.
So you have friends for a social life?
Yeah,
Could you have a social life without friends?
yeah,
Oh, and
I do.
you do?
Yeah, I
You
do.
have done that?
Of course,
Have you ever lost a friend that you thought you were close to?
absolutely.
And what was that like for you? What did you learn from that?
I mean, people come and go. I can't hold on to something and boohoo over that. So, yeah.
So when you lost a friend that you were close to, you just gave them the finger?
Yeah.
And did you, and did
Yeah.
you go and find another one?
No.
You did without?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Yes, ma'am. You have a friend? You have friends?
I have one friend who I consider a friend.
And what made them a friend?
We've been through ups and downs, and we've always been there for each other. No judgment, just kind of done our stuff and been there.
And how would you be without a friend?
I've been without friends, and I'm fine.
You're fine without them? So you don't necessarily need one?
No, you don't. I could go out and have fun on my own, and I'll be fine.
Oh, good.
Do
Amazing.
it all the time.
Have you ever been hurt by the loss of a friend?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And why were you hurt?
Most of it was betrayal. Just kind of, they didn't have the same values that I did, so it just kind of, we just separated.
They didn't have the same values? Give me an example of not having the
An
same.
example is I have my daughter, and I'm a single mom as well, so they don't always understand that being a mother comes first. So if they can accept that, then
Then they have to go.
yeah, and I'm okay with it.
Nice. Let me talk to your daughter for a minute. Hi, daughter.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Melanie.
You have friends?
Yes.
And why do you have friends?
Because I feel like it's fun to have friends and to like talk with them and hang out with them as well.
And how would you feel if you didn't have friends?
I would feel a bit sad, but a bit happy at the same time.
You feel a little sad and a little happy?
Yeah.
Oh, and why would you be sad?
Because I feel like you could like, you would need someone to like, help, like I don't know, like hang out with and talk to if you did.
Would you talk to them about something that you couldn't talk to your mother about or your father?
Maybe not. Not that.
You don't tell them your private stuff.
No, not really.
Oh, good. Do you believe you can live without friends or you cannot?
I think you could live without friends.
You
yes.
think so? Nice. Okay. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
How old are you?
I am 10.
Right on. Let me talk to the guy in the black hat. Do you have friends?
No.
You don't have any friends? And why not?
What I realized when I was younger, I used to have a lot of friends. And then as you get older, you start to realize what friend means. And I just have never really gotten that kind of relationship with someone
Speak up
else.
a little bit.
I never really had that kind of relationship with anyone else that I
see.
had before.
When you would lose a friend, how did you feel about it?
Well, it was confusing because the circumstances surrounding how I lost one particular friend, it didn't make any sense at all. It just seemed to come out of nowhere. But then what I realized is that person shouldn't have been in my life, and I was ignoring the signs. And so sometimes God will allow things to happen that seems crazy just so that you can see who you're dealing with.
Oh, so were you a friend to them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Too much of a friend.
And did they think they were a friend to you?
I don't know what they thought,
Oh, you don't?
but I think that they did. Just because someone enjoys your company don't mean that they're a good friend.
Is your wife your best friend?
No,
She's not?
absolutely not.
Why not?
Because she's my wife.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. How about you? You have friends?
Yeah, I have friends.
And why?
I don't know. I didn't choose to have friends, but I chose to be a friend. So I guess that attracted somebody with a similar mindset, and we were able to, I don't know, develop a friendship. I don't know. There was some sort of a bond that I didn't ask for, but it just happened naturally.
But why did you choose to be a friend?
I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't thought into that one. If I had off the top of my head, probably because, you know what? It sounds like I wanted to have friends. So I chose to be a good friend. And now that I really think about it, which from what you just asked me, I wanted to, have somebody around to still be, to be communal with and hang out and talk to and open up to.
So you chose to be a friend so you could have somebody to talk to and hang out with?
Yeah.
So it was all about you? And not
Essentially,
about them?
yeah. From now that I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah. Did you had never thought of that before?
No.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
The young man way in the back want to respond, and then we'll move on. This should be interesting.
I don't really want to respond, but I'm stuck.
Do you have friends?
I have some friends. I think friends are essential to a good life. No man's an island, or no woman's an island. So it's baloney that people don't need friends. That's garbage.
You need friends?
People need friends.
How
Yes,
about
they do.
You need friends?
What's that?
Do you need friends?
Of course I do.
And why do you need friends?
Because I can learn from their wisdom. I can learn from their experiences. I can learn from their values, ethics, and morals. I can be a better person.
So it's like the Bible, huh?
What's that?
It's like the Bible?
No. The Bible, the Bible is what you aspire to. But I mean, everybody hears in their fallen state, weak.
Let me ask you this. Can you live without, have you ever lost a friend?
I can't recall, but I'm sure I've lost friends. And I mean, like,
And
if
how
I've
did you-
lost friends, it's because probably character weaknesses on my part.
Were you a good friend?
I think I have been a good friend, but sometimes I've been, I mean, the way you speak, in my past, I've been very beta, and people take advantage of beta males, right? You know, whether it's female friends or male friends. And so life kicks you in the butt or in the teeth.
You were a good friend and someone took advantage of your good friendship?
Yeah, people are evil. Not all people. I'm not going to be that cynical. I refuse to be that cynical.
What's a good friend?
Oh my goodness. Good friend. Somebody's there for you. Somebody that you can confide. Somebody that you can vent. Somebody that understands you. Somebody that shows compassion. Somebody that, you know, sees you're in a hole and goes, hey, you know what? This is a good suggestion and this is a good suggestion. And I'm going, oh my gosh, if I hadn't talked to you, I wouldn't have got out of this hole. All right, you know, and I was like, that's genius. So you don't have all the answers, and then your circle, which includes friends or acquaintances, can give you some guidance, you know, and then going, okay, that helped.
Amazing.
And then, I mean, and God goes.
So you require a lot from a friend, huh?
I don't know if I require a lot from a friend. I mean, like.
You just named all the stuff that you need.
A lot of people need stuff. I'm not. No man's an island. That's baloney that everybody. No man's an island. No woman's an island.
You require a lot from a friend, though.
I require some things from a friend. Yeah.
You just named all the stuff you needed from a
There's
friend.
nothing wrong with it. I don't care. I'm an alpha male, not a beta male. I'm not going to be put in that garbage category.
Okay, let me talk to this young man.
Sorry.
Okay, that's right. Don't be put in that. You have friends?
Yeah, they're actually here right now.
All these are your friends?
Well, it's my girlfriend and then him and him over there.
Oh, and you need friends?
Yeah.
And why?
Well, like for me, like I guess just personally, like I feel like man needs friends. They need their brotherhood, you know.
And why?
Well, to call you out on your BS, like when you're doing something wrong. Like I think a good friend is like someone that can be completely honest and, you know, tell you like when you're failing at something and motivate you.
When your friend is completely honest with you, do you get mad or you accept it?
I mean, at first it's a natural reaction, be like, no. And then you're like, okay, like, wait up. Like if he's the only one telling me this, then, and no one else is telling me this, I'm like, it's for a reason. So like, you just have to listen, you know?
Right, but you get mad when he first tell you.
Yeah, for just like, it's like the instant reaction.
Right, and why is that?
Well, because like you don't want to face the truth sometimes.
And so could you know the truth if your friend never mentioned that to you?
To have that level of self-awareness, I don't think I'm completely there yet.
Right, you think it's possible?
Yeah, I think it's possible in a way, but like you really have to be like disciplined in order to do that and know yourself to that complete sense, and I'm just not there yet.
Nice. Did you forgive your mother?
Yes.
You went to her?
Yeah.
And what happened?
She was kind of confused.
She what?
She was kind of confused as to like why I was forgiving her for. I mean, I told her, but like.
Oh, she pretended she didn't understand?
Yeah, I mean, it was a thing where like I kind of told her exactly like, you know, I wasn't like blaming her or anything like that. It felt like for me it felt good, you know, to open like that dialogue up and like let her know like what I was feeling, because I wasn't raised to express that kind of emotion like that.
Yeah, mothers prevent children from speaking up because they don't want to hear the truth about themselves, and so they'll slap fire out of you.
Yeah, I would say that the relationship with my dad has improved since then, and with my mom it's been more I guess like stable in a way, just like it's just there, but it's not like it was before, which is like I think like in a good way.
Nice. And so your mother treat you well now, like an adult?
Yeah, a lot more.
Good, man.
Yeah, and like she doesn't like, she kind of keeps her advice to herself, and I just go to my dad.
About time, huh? After 30 years.
Yeah.
Amazing. Good. Yes, sir. You have friends?
No.
You had your hand, right?
Yeah.
You don't have friends?
No.
Why not?
I was realizing the other day, I was like, with friends like these, who needs enemies? And a lot of times we're trying to build a force field around us of like a safety blanket with friends until one day we realize we built a prison that we can't get out of now. And we almost build enemies through that. So, yeah.
And so when you had friends, were you a good friend? Were you a friend?
Well, similar to like what he was saying, I think a lot of times we work with people or we do business with people and we just like over time are like, oh, I guess this is my friend because I see him every day and whatever, and we're making money or whatever. And there was like a funny line that I thought of that was no friends in the end, we're just PayPals. And a lot of times business makes you think that you're friends, but so my answer is no.
You were not a friend?
No.
But at the time you thought you were?
No.
Oh, you knew you were not a friend?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder they dumped you. That's amazing. Doug, you have friends?
Not so much. I learned pretty early that you can't really trust people, and it's pretty much started with family, so.
It started with what?
Family.
Oh, you can't trust family?
I mean, sometimes you can't. I can't, some of my family I can't, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't really have friends. I'm okay to be alone.
So are you a one-man island?
I don't know what that means.
It means that, I think it means you can't stand alone, you gotta have somebody around.
I don't need to have anybody around.
You don't? Oh, okay. The reason I asked about this because I've been hearing all this past week, I've been counseling with people who are having a hard time with friends. And when it seems to be worse now than ever. And I know the reason for it is that society is people are evil. People are mean and nasty and selfish and evil. Have y'all noticed that? Family members, so-called friends, co-workers, workers. It's hard to find people now that have real love and don't have a hidden agenda. Have y'all noticed that? And so I talked to people in counseling, and they were like going through it because they had been deceived by friends or they had lost a friend and they felt alone and all that. And I said to them, well, if you lost a friend and you feel alone, that's a good thing because that means that you were using the friend for personal gain to make yourself feel better. Oh, I got someone I can talk to. It was for your need, ego need, and not for them. Because a real friend, a free friend, don't need anything from anyone. You don't need anything. You don't need friendship. You don't need someone to talk to. You don't need those things. The only time you need those things is if something's wrong with you, and then you pretend to be a friend, and when that person don't act the way you say and think the way you think, then all of a sudden you say, well, this is not a friend. And you get rid of the person without looking at yourself, seeing that you were not a friend because you had a hidden agenda. And it's hard for people to see themselves. And I was thinking about Christianity and how people talk about Christians. Christians have love. Christians are of God. Christians are this. No, they're not. Christians are some of the worst. And I counsel with a whole bunch of Christians. Christians are as bad as non-Christians, secular people. Their hearts have not changed. And they have hidden agendas, and they are mean and nasty to one another, all in the name of Jesus. Really. They'll quote the Bible and everything, but they don't get along. They don't get along with one another. And it's primarily because there is a hidden agenda. And so what I want to do is tear down, you got to tear down all the walls so that you don't live behind a wall. You have to live a free person in order to live a real life. Otherwise, you get going to suffer the rest of your life. I remember when I started Bond 32 years ago, a couple of friends, people told me, don't be friends with these people. You know, wiser men than me would come along, right, older men, and they would say, look, don't be friends with people in your congregation, don't be friends with people at all, because those people are not your friends. They just think that you have something they want. So they have a hidden agenda. And the moment they disagree with you, you're going to see the hell come out of them. Because all of a sudden they can't get what they want from you, and you didn't know they had a hidden agenda, so they pretend to be friends. And they would like warn me, don't have friends. I'm telling you, these people are not your friend. And I thought about friendship and the way friendship should be. A real friend would be someone that don't want anything from you. Anything. You can be friends that way. That way, it's not replacing God. It's not replacing. It's like people get married, right? Before they get married, they just love one another. Oh, honey, I love you. You love me. Oh, honey, here's some flowers. The guy bought a woman so many flowers from the Mexicans stand outside the street. And they buy the flower from the Mexicans because they can't tell the Mexicans, no, I don't want any flowers. But anyway, and they bring the woman flowers home, and they cater to her and tell her how wonderful she is. You're so beautiful, let's go to dinner. You know, come and meet my mama, my daddy. And then she's like that too. Oh, I love you. I'm going to the barbershop with you. I just love you, honey. I don't care what. I'll make you the finest meals and everything. And so, and then in that father state, they get married. And the morning after the wedding, after the night up, all hell breaks loose. Have y'all noticed that in marriages? All hell, because now that fake love, that emotional stuff that felt like love, turned to hate. You hate the person you loved. Have you noticed that? That's how friendships are too. You end up hating the people you love. And so it doesn't work out, but when it ends, most people don't look at themselves to see, well, what was my agenda? What was wrong with me? What was I expecting? Was there something wrong with me? They'll run to another relationship, whether it be a friendship or a marriage or something. They'll just get with another person, creating the same problem over and over again. It doesn't get better. That's living behind a wall in prison. That's not freedom. We're literally supposed to live on this earth and not need each other at all. Because when you need other people, it means something is missing in you. And nobody or nothing, no money, no house, another person, or anything can fulfill that. That void will still be there, and you will still want more and want more, thinking that, well, if you love me more, then I'll be fine. And you're like, but I can't love you anymore, I hate you. You just don't say it out loud. And the same thing with mothers and children. The kid could be 90 years old, and the mama's still following the kid, the adult. Calling the child every morning, oh, hi, how are you? Oh, I was fine yesterday, and I'm fine today, mama. Well, mama just love you. Mama miss you. Okay, don't replace me with the missing. Overcome the missing part. That way you don't try to get it from me. You know what I'm saying? And then the kids have to call, adult kid, they have to call mama every day. And if they don't call mama, why do you call? You know mama love you. And then the woman get pregnant, and the first thing mama want to do is I'm coming to stay with you. Why? You have the baby. But did I ask you to? No, but you know, mama love you, right? I had a baby already. I can tell you how to do it, even though she screwed you up. It's a mess. We got to overcome this fallen state by overcoming anger. You must overcome anger. Anger separates you from. One guy told me when I first started Bond, hey, don't have any friends. Just be, if you want a friend, come over to our house, my family be your friend. Because they knew that people weren't friends. It was all fake. It was all lies, right? And so, but I had to go through it myself to find out. And I now understand it. Everyone who has an ego, and everybody dies until they die from the ego. Everyone who has an ego are looking for something on the outside from someone else. And you're pretending that it's the real deal, and it's not. Because just think about it. If you have friends and you didn't have any need for them, but you enjoy hanging out, just talking, but no need. If one day that friend should turn on you or don't want to be a friend, you wouldn't miss anything. You wouldn't get mad. You wouldn't be glad. You would, oh, okay. It would be no big deal. That makes sense? Yeah. But people misuse one another because they have a wrong need and they hide that need. They pretend it's something that is not. It's okay to be friends, but not out of a need. And if you truly, truly, truly had love, and by salvations of the heart, right? The heart changed from anger. God would change the heart from anger to love. And in love, all your needs are met. They're all met. And so you wouldn't have to look for anything on the outside. And so if you have it, fine. If people want to hang out, fine. If they don't, fine. If your husband want to leave, ladies, or your wife want to leave, okay, bye. And if the wife go to court to take the children, you can have the kids. No fight here. Because you don't need the kids. The kids are born, you have babies not for your need, you have babies for God's need. And what God is doing through human beings is creating love. That's why you're having the babies. To create love through human beings, right? But if you get in the way of that, love is never created. Because you're not going to let that person be alone to endure and seek the Father and seek God. You're all in the way because you want something from them. And then now they've been set up to need you. If human beings got married, men and women got married and didn't need each other, a marriage would last forever. It would last forever. Because you would be of real love and not that emotional fallen state love. That emotional love makes you demand and you fight one another to try to get what you want. You went out, where'd you go after work? Well, I just went by the bar. Well, what about me? I'm at home by myself with these babies. Well, you're not by yourself if the kids are there with you. Or they'll say, you're not paying me any attention. You don't care about my emotions. Y'all ever heard that before? You don't care about my emotion. You're right, I don't. Well, you don't love me. And what they're saying is, you don't let me control you anymore. I used to control you with this fake love, and now you don't love me because I can't control you. But instead, they pretend they want love. Even the men that are jealous of their wives, right? It's all about that man, it ain't about that woman. When they are beating you because or yelling at you because you looked at another man, that doesn't mean they love you. That means that their ego been hurt. That's all it means. So ladies, don't be happy when they beat you because you looked at another man. That ain't love. And he ain't beating you for you, he beating you for himself. Because he's insecure, empty, and trying to get something from you that you don't have to give. It doesn't feel the soul. Have you noticed nothing outside of you can make you completely at peace? It feels good for a moment, then after a while it doesn't feel good anymore. You can buy a brand new car and just love that car. Show it to everybody. And after a while, you hate the car. You get in the car without even noticing that you used to love it because it doesn't make you happy anymore. I'm telling you, nobody or nothing on earth can make you happy except the love of God. You got to overcome the anger. And when you overcome the anger, God will destroy the ego need. Because all that stuff you fight for is all ego. It is the nature of the devil. It's not of God and it's not of you. And every time you listen to the thoughts and you get those emotions, if you obey them, you get it deeper in hell. You're not being free. How many of you feel shy sometimes? You feel a little shy. And how many have fear at times? Nice. At times you get fear. And what caused you to feel fear at times? Right here.
I'm not sure.
So when you feel fear, you don't think, why am I feeling afraid right now?
Mhm.
So sometimes you can wake up in the morning and just feel fear and not know why, right?
Yeah. I guess it's your thoughts that make you fearful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And do you still listen to them?
I try not to.
But you do at times?
Yeah, sometimes it just creeps in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Did you have your hand for the fear? And why do you feel fear at times?
I feel fear at times because probably like I see people being really violent. So sometimes that makes me fearful. You know, like say you're going to the grocery store and I don't know, somebody just gets violent with you, you know.
Are they violent to you or around? You see it around
No,
you?
I just see it.
Right.
Yeah, I see it around or like, you know, a lot of theft is going on and all that. And I just think of, you know, I don't know, something were to happen to me or my daughter or.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Did you have your hand for the shy feeling or the fear feeling? And why do you feel shy at times?
Because sometimes I can't process my thoughts in the way that I want them to, and I'm shy that I'm going to sound stupid.
And what's wrong with sounding stupid?
I guess in sounding stupid, people laugh at you.
And what's wrong with that?
It can be hurtful or you feel less of yourself. But as I'm growing older, I learned not to really care. But it still happens from time to time.
Okay. Have you forgiven your parents?
My father, yes. My mother, I'm working on that.
You're working on it? What do you
Yes.
mean? You're trying to tiptoe upon it or something? What do you mean you're working on it?
I want to. I haven't done it yet.
And why not?
I believe that I am worried about the way she's going to react.
And how do you think she's going to react?
She might be hurt.
What do you mean?
She might become, she might cry. She might realize that she's done certain things without, the intent of, but still has caused me harm in a way. And it might cause her to break her down. And I wouldn't want to see her like that.
Why not?
It might hurt me.
It might hurt you if you see her break down?
Yes.
And why would it hurt you?
Because it's my mother and I love her.
You love your mother?
Yes.
And so you feel your mama's pain?
Do I feel her pain? I guess I would say yes, or that seeing her in pain causes me pain.
Really? Do you think when God see your mother in pain, it causes him pain?
I would think so.
You think God have pain when he see your mama in pain?
I want to say perhaps because, I don't know, the first thing that comes to my mind is that we're all children of God. So if one of his children is suffering, then I would assume maybe he is too.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
No, it's fine.
But God doesn't feel anything.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Zero. Have you noticed he'll let people live on Skid Row?
Yes.
He let people be alcoholic, drug addicts,
Yes.
bums on the street. You think he feel the pain of those people?
Well, now, after what you said, I guess not.
God does, he's already, in reality, we are already free. And the way you're feeling all this pain, you think about your mother, and you think you may hurt her feeling, that's not really you. That's the ego. That's the devil nature in you. That's not you at all. When Christ died, we died too. We died from sin. And then when he rose, we rose too. It's just you don't know it. You've been made to believe that this fake you, this emotional you, is you, and it's not. You've been living in your imagination. That's why you won't go face your mother, because you're living in darkness, believing all thoughts. And the thoughts will tell you, oh, she's going to cry. She's going to, fall out. She's this and that. And the devil is preventing you from dying from him so you can finally live. Because you think it's you. And if you don't love your mother yet, because once you face her and forgive her, then you will love her. Because if you love somebody, you're not afraid to talk to them. You're not worried about the outcome at all. You're not judging them. So if you're not judging them, then there's no outcome to worry about. And if she rejected, that's on her. She's not ready to hear the truth. She just has to suffer her own hell until she's ready, or die that way. But you will be free.
That's amazing.
What do you think about that?
Like I said, that's amazing.
Yeah. And the reason I bring that up too, because
it's very revealing.
So what?
It's very revealing.
Yeah. And the word shyness is just a word. It only has meaning if you're in a fallen state. But if you were not in that fallen state, meaning that you had love and not anger, then somebody said something to you, made you look stupid, blah, 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 you wouldn't feel anything about it because it wouldn't be you. You wouldn't have an ego, and so there would be nothing to cover up. You're covering up the false self. You have to, God said that in order for us to live, we must die. So we have to die from this fake thing that we are. It's the nature of the devil. All anger, shyness, worry, insecurity, doubt and fear and emotion and stuff, that's all evil. It's not of God.
All emotions?
Yeah. Look how the emotion got you living behind a wall. You're not free. You can't face your mother because you're an emotional person and you're thinking, because you know your mother feels exactly how you feel because you got that from her. When you became angry, you became like her. So that's why you feel her pain, because you have her nature. You got to all those who are born of the woman must die and be born of the spirit of the Father. God said we have once to live and once to die, right? All who are born through the flesh must die. That's why everybody needs to forgive their mothers. And then forgive their father for not protecting them from her, because his mother destroyed him. But we all must be born again if we want to live. And this young lady was saying that she's afraid of all the stuff she sees around her. But children of God, those who've been truly born again, are not afraid in this world, because we can see things different, and our connection now is with God and not with the world. But you're going to have to die from that, the spiritual death. So you got to face your mother. It's like facing yourself, really. What?
No, nothing. I'm just listening.
What do you think about that?
I see a lot of truth in that.
Yeah.
Very
So you
revealing.
got to stop protecting. You got to stop protecting the devil. When you don't face things, you're protecting the devil in you, thinking that it's you. Really, it's not you. It's the devil. When you talk to yourself, when you pray out loud and do all this, you're praying to the devil. That's why your prayers don't work. You're praying to the devil. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. So this whole thing about friendship, if you can't have a friend without needing that friend for anything, then you're no different than the devil. But we could be free here on the earth, but we just have to die spiritually. So when the heart changed, now you got the power of God in you to get rid of the ego nature, to kill the nature. And that's hard to do because you're so identified with this fake you. It's not you at all. We are not what we think. We're not emotions, either good or bad, because they both are wrong. A good emotion is as bad as a bad emotion. Isn't that amazing? What are y'all thinking? Okay. Any questions about that?
No, thank you.
So listen, you gotta face your mother and shaking your boots because you're facing the devil. And don't let the devil tell you she might this and she might that. Have a wait and see. And so when you go to face her, hey Mom, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize you were crazy and you couldn't help it. You're as insane because I'm insane now. And I'm just like you. And I'm sorry for resenting you because you become like what you hate. When you became angry at your mother, you became like her. And so when you go to her, and she start cursing, oh, Señor, sí. No. That's your daddy. That's your papa, not me. And then if she start crying, or if she fall out and die, you just look at her like you're looking at a bad movie. Wow, Mama dead. Now I can live. Because all she's doing is fighting the truth. She doesn't want to hear the truth about herself, and it has nothing to do with you. You're not bringing her pain. The truth is bringing her pain, not you. That make sense?
Yes.
So if you want to be free, you must forgive your mother. She couldn't help it. She really couldn't help it. Her mother did it to her, and it goes on from generation to generation. But if you forgive, then when you get married and have kids, you have love, and your kids won't have to go through what you're going through. You start a new generation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir. Anybody disagree with any of this? You do?
No, I agree.
Oh, you agree? You agree. Have you forgiven your mother?
Oh, definitely.
You went to her?
Yeah, I went to both of my parents.
Nice. And you said, I'm sorry for resenting you?
Resentment, anger, I let go of everything.
Right
And,
on.
Yeah, I
Nice.
understood that it was because of the way they were raised.
Yeah,
They didn't know any better.
that's right.
And I'm doing the same with my daughter. I still do mistakes with her because of the way I was raised.
Have you forgiven your mother for making you mad?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
And so it's better now to deal with it when you're not mad, right?
Yes.
Yeah, don't be mad because you become like, whomever makes you angry, they control you. You become just like them. And so when your mother wake up in the morning yelling about nothing, just say, Mom, calm down.
She does.
She does?
Do, yeah.
Nice. That's what, and you will grow up free. You really will. And it'll be amazing. Good. Don't be angry. Speak up, but don't be angry. And don't hold anything against anyone. People, the things we want to do, we don't do. The things that are right, we don't do. And the things that we don't want to do, we end up doing. It must be something that made a home in us. It's not us. Nice. Okay.
So I've gone and forgiven my mom and my dad separately, but sometimes I still feel like I haven't truly forgiven my mom internally. Like you've said it many times and you've asked, what's the difference between an intellectual and an intelligent mind? And if you forgive someone intellectually, like, oh, I did it in my head, check the box, and now I should be
Right.
free. But you say, don't go back and forgive again and again and again because that's the ego telling you, you got to go back, you got to
Yeah.
go back. So my question is, if I've gone and I've forgiven, I went to my mom and said, hey, you're a B. You hurt me and you've done all these things. But then, you know, I still notice that I do things that resemble identical to her.
Yeah.
And it isn't until my wife or my kids like tell me, and I'm like, oh shoot, like I act just like this woman. So how do I overcome that, or long term, once you've forgiven, once you really want to let go and move forward?
By paying attention to yourself. Just the awareness. Your wife or your kids shouldn't have to always tell you that. You should see it. Oh man, just like my mama. Blah, 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 right? And enough to see it and don't do anything about it. And the light of God will change it. He is allowing you to see the not you, and he's getting rid of it. But if you take action yourself, then the devil is just adding to it. It's not you. It's enough to see it. That's all you have to do. And it'll be taken care of. Because we can't change ourselves spiritually. We're not in control of anything. We can't control ourselves, and we cannot control others. And so the light of God will change it. Just see it. And Satan try to make you think, oh, you have not forgiven. Don't pay attention to that. Don't worship the devil. Stop having conversation with the devil. Stop fighting with the devil. And just observe the devil. That's why I tell husband and wife, y'all have no business fighting one another. If one is mad, let that person be mad by themselves. Because it's just one devil looking for another devil to fight with. And as soon as you start fighting with the one that's mad, they feel good. Because they just made you mad. So stop fighting. Let people go crazy, it's fine. So just notice it. Just see it. But you need to practice being aware at all times. It's not easy, but eventually it gets easier to live in the present rather than the future or the past, which doesn't exist. Just learn to stay present without effort. Just be present. And he got you. All right? But don't keep going back, man.
No, I'm not. But I'm saying the thoughts make me feel like, I listen to the thoughts and then I have that feeling.
Right.
And it makes me think I should go back. Oh, now I'm really ready to forgive her. That's the nonsense in there, yeah.
Yeah, all thoughts and thoughts run deep. You don't know how messed up you are. I don't know how messed up I am until I really pay attention to self. When in the Bible it says that the human heart is evil. The human heart is evil. And it's not just a nice evil, it's like a deep evil. It's a cover-up evil. Really. And the only reason it's covered up because we won't look at ourselves. We're looking at everybody else but self. You gotta look at you. Isn't that amazing? Yes, sir. Did I see your hand?
A while back, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to the part about friendship, and I was listening to the part you just had that you said to Randy, which was really...
Speak a little louder and clearer.
Yeah. Randy, the point you made to Randy was kind of tied into the point I was thinking of earlier when you were talking about friendships. And obviously I agree with you. I think that to think of friends as something to need is a mistake, right? If it's something that just comes into your life and you have no expectations of it, that's not necessarily a negative. And that was what I wanted to add. It seems to me like the theme across a lot of this stuff, or maybe a different way to explain that all thoughts, all being lies all the time, is, it doesn't sound to me like the problem is friends. It sounds to me like the problem is expectations. It doesn't sound to me like the problem is not properly forgiving, right? Like if he thinks he has, but he's having these expectations of when the change will come internally or externally, expectations on what a friend needs to be or what they have to do to you, or they didn't call this week or missed my party, so they're mean to me and now I'm hurt. Seems to me like it's a lot of expectations, and maybe I'm wrong, and I'd love to hear your take on that. It sounds to me like it's a lot of when you put expectations on things in this life, not only are you worshiping the devil, but you are setting yourself up to get lost.
What it is a separation from God. Because God will supply all our needs. All our needs. He will be everything we need in life. And when you're separated from God, turned away from him, and every human being is turned away from God. until they forgive, repent, and born again of God. And then when you turn back to the Father, all of your needs will be met. You wouldn't, all of them be met. You wouldn't have a need to reach out to anyone for anything. Nothing. So you will have no expectation. You will have no expectation because nothing will be missing. All your needs will be met. God love you, and the devil love you too in hell, but God love you in heaven, right here on earth. So you're either serving the devil or God. You're not serving one day and one the next day. And when you're of God, you have no complaints. Zero. It would be impossible to complain about it because nothing is missing. And because you understand what's going on with you, you're going to understand what's going on with everybody in the world. And as a result of understanding them, you would never resent them for anything. You would never judge them. Because you would know yourself. So nothing will be missing. Isn't it amazing to live that way on earth? Yeah, I saw your hand first. Did you have your hand? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say when he was talking about forgiving his mom, when I was approached to my adult child to forgive me, I got angry. I mean, I was telling him off on the phone, just like you, and, you're this, you're that, and don't you dare call me like this, And then I hung up, and it wasn't till I started coming here doing the silent prayer and everything. I just called him out of the blue one day and said, "Thank you," and I'm sorry. I see it different today, and that day that I was approached was a good day for him, but a bad day for me, and I carried it with me. I carried it with me for a few months until I just couldn't carry it anymore, and then I saw it.
Right on.
I saw what he was talking about.
Nice.
So
see why you got to forgive your mother? Yeah. The one thing I want to say to you about getting married and don't want to stay home and because you're equal or whatever, once you forgive, your ego, that ego nature gonna die, and you're gonna love being a woman. You would not feel like anything is missing, so if you got married, you would just love being, because it'd be the natural order for you. It wouldn't feel like you gotta go out and work. I'm not being fulfilled, right? And the reason it wouldn't feel that way because nothing would be missing. You would be a blessed woman, a woman of God, a daughter of God, and you'll look at all the crazy women who have families and try to go to work, and they're gonna look all worn out and worried, angry, depressed, but you will have peace because you would not be in competition with the world at all. And then you wouldn't mind if your husband went out and worked because it'll be natural. It's unnatural not to be that way. It's a natural order of God, right? And so when you overcome that anger, you live a natural life instead of an unnatural life. Anyone who has anger is living an unnatural life. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry?
When you say that she would feel like a woman because she, we're just talking about, not everybody has the best interest for you. So sometimes not even a husband or a boyfriend has the best interest for you. So
right.
In my case, I grew up in a very violent and abusive home. And my mom worked, but my dad controlled the money. So we weren't able to leave. Or she, So in my head, I always wanted to work because in case something doesn't work out, we could go our separate ways and know that I'm okay.
But if you didn't have that mentality, and I understand now why you do because of the way you were raised.
Yeah.
But if you were not raised that way, it was in order, it was natural, you would be thinking those things.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be thinking, I gotta find a man, but I gotta go to work too, just in case, right? You would know you're with a man that's gonna last forever. It wouldn't be any doubt about it. Because God would only give you your husband. He wouldn't give you some guy that the devil gave to you. it felt like love, and you thought he loved you. I love him, right? It would be any of that. And so the man you get would be your husband for life, because you wouldn't be attracted to anything else. He wouldn't send you a half man.
I hope he doesn't.
But if you're out there looking for a man because you're lonely, because you feel like you need love, or you need something, you're going to always end up with the wrong man. Because he's going to pretend to be what you're looking for until you get it, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
But because when you have love and the ego is dying, you can see, and you'll see if this man is faking it or not. By the light of God, he will show you.
Oh, definitely. I agree with that, because before forgiving my parents, I was seeking out what I didn't get from them.
Yes.
And yeah, so I agree with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Nice. So that's what is so good to be able to see, because he got your back. God's not going to let just any man or any woman be in your life. He will allow you to see, and you will be able to say, no, this is the wrong one. In all honesty, men and women who get married don't love one another. It's hate. It's not love. It feels like love at first, right? Because he's building your ego, you're building his, and it feels like love. But it's not love. And so they get together and they fight for the rest of their life rather than breaking up, because they heard that a married couple should not break up. That's what children of God will not break up. But children that come together of the devil, they will break up. No other choice. Amazing, huh? Yes, sir.
I was thinking about how now, as I'm trying to come out from the stuff that I was under before, when I was taking this medication and stuff, and I was numbing me up. Now a lot of stuff is starting to come back to me now, and I'm now reminding myself now when this happened. I remind myself, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I doing? And so when doing that, it's helped me to see that what I'm thinking, find out where that's coming from in the first place. It's not really me having those thoughts in the first place. The feeling goes away, and then I'm able to be conscious in the moment about what I'm actually doing. Like I was going yesterday, I was going to, I was on my way to an appointment, and I got off and I was walking around and I passed the bank, right? And this feeling like came upon me and stuff, and I was thinking, what am I thinking? I'm thinking it's all this stuff that doesn't matter from the past and stuff that was coming up. So I calmed down, and I was able to realize right now I'm peaceful and calm in the area where I'm at, where I'm walking. It's just peaceful and calm. And I just went to the bank, made my deposit, and went on with the rest of my day.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm noticing now that a lot of that stuff was just, I guess, numbing me from stuff that I wasn't aware of before.
How many years you been taking it?
A long time.
Like 3, 4, 5, 10, 20?
Initially, it started about 10 years ago.
And now you kind of wean it off?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. So.
Yeah. You want to be free, but the devil want your soul. You could be, and they have professionals to help the devil take your soul. Counselors and psychiatrists and all that. All they're doing is taking your money because they're unhappy themselves. I counsel with counselors and psychologists and all that, and they have other, what do you call those people? Counselor, right? They're not getting any help. They come to me and I'm like, look, let the anger go. Go and forgive. And they feel better right away. They're like, wow, my other counselor didn't tell me that. Because they want your money. And they're unhappy themselves. So they can't point you to the right way if they don't know the way. So I got to get to the biblical question. What's the biblical question then?
How do you?
That's the anchor baby right there. Everybody meet the anchor baby. He is a real anchor baby. We have a fake anchor baby too that call Michelle. But go ahead.
How do you define good and evil?
How do you define good and evil? How do you define good and evil? The guy in the white shirt want to tell me first, I can tell.
Good and evil, it's kind of like, do your choices like affect other people? I feel like if you're doing something bad that directly is going to affect like everyone in this room, that's evil.
That's evil. So you would define evil as what?
Affecting other people and self-destruction. That's evil.
And how would you define good?
Good, it's like just, I don't know, elevating yourself. Bad word, but like
you say good,
just progressing.
elevate yourself, a bad word?
Just like a bad choice of word.
A bad choice of word?
Yeah.
Oh, good is a bad choice of word that elevates you?
No, I use the word elevate to like,
Oh.
as a bad, like to just like progress, to like move forward.
Do you have regrets?
Maybe, but I don't dwell on them.
You don't dwell on them?
No, maybe bad decisions in the past, but I don't dwell on anything.
Oh, okay. All right. The young man in the back, way in the back. Yeah, you. How do you define good and how do you define evil?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to define good or evil.
You would not be able to?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. The young man next to you.
Hi.
Hi. Is this your first time here?
Yes.
Nice. How'd you find out about us?
My cuñado right here. My
Your
brother-in-law.
what? Your
My brother-in-law. My cuñado. My cuñi is right here.
Oh, okay. How do you define good?
I think that good is helping others, maybe helping yourself. I think that evil is the opposite of that, you know,
okay.
trying to hurt people or maybe hurting yourself.
So you think evil is when you're helping others?
No,
Oh, good is when you're helping others.
something like that.
And then evil is what?
When you kind of try to kind of inflict maybe pain or try to be
okay.
fucked up to or mean to people.
All right.
Something like that. Excuse me.
He hurry up and give her the mic. Francisco, how would you define good and evil?
I guess evil, man's heart, Satan, the devil, everything in God would be.
So you would
love
define
and good.
evil as what now?
I define evil as, Satan. If you would ask me, I'd call that evil.
Okay.
Evil, Satan, in man's heart, and then good would be God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Or Jesus.
This young lady, and I see you brush your hair, so I'm gonna move a little faster because the time is almost there. Yes, ma'am. How would you define good and how would you define evil?
I never thought about defining it, but if I had, I would say that the only thing that I can think of as good is God, and evil would be any opposition to that, any opposition to God.
Okay. Amazing. Did I see a hand somewhere? Yes.
So I would say in reality, there's really no such thing as evil. Evil,
Really?
yeah,
What
evil. So hear me out. So evil is a word that we use to describe the absence of love. And so in a similar way that there's really no such thing as a cold. Cold is a word that we use to describe the absence of heat. So
Okay.
that's kind of how I see it.
And how about good?
Good is love.
Oh, good is love. Okay. Amazing. Hassan, you had your hand?
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. How would you define good and how would you define evil?
Love and hate.
Love and hate? That sounds like a song. Okay. The young lady got the last word over here. How would you define good and evil? Good first. How would you define good?
I would say good is love. It doesn't have emotion behind it. It's just what it is. And evil has a lot of emotion.
Okay.
It's just
Evil is
emotional.
emotions and good is non-emotion?
Sure, yes.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you forgive your mother yet? Your husband?
I'm going to.
You didn't do it yet?
Not yet.
Why
but
not?
going
Why
to.
haven't you done it already?
Haven't been home.
Oh, I see. And you're married, right? You guys are married.
Yes, sir.
Well, you better hurry up because you're married to your mom.
Oh, trust me, I know that.
Nice. Okay. Yes.
I just wanted to change it real quick.
You want to change your mind?
Yeah.
What the? Okay.
Love and fake love.
Oh, now I feel
It
better.
sounded cool, yeah.
Which one sound better to you, the first one or the second one?
After saying it, now I want to go back to the first one.
What a mess. How would you define it, Anchor Baby?
How do I define good and evil?
How would you define good and evil?
Yeah,
Good first.
Okay, the way I define good is whatever makes me feel good.
So what?
Whatever makes me feel good.
That how you define good?
Correct.
Okay.
That's how I define it.
What?
That's how I define it.
How about evil?
What makes me feel bad.
You could break up with him. I would dump that one if I were you. No, how would you find good and evil?
When you asked me the first time, I said, what did I say? I said, I can't define it, and I'm going to stick with that.
Oh, you're going to stick with that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. How would you define good and evil?
I would define, so similar to what Rochelle said.
No, don't do similar.
I'm not. I would imagine, when I think of good and evil, this is how I define it, because I'm a very
Give me a
visual.
short answer to it.
I'm giving it to you. Short answer. Very visual. Think of like a dartboard with a bullseye. The bullseye is God, right? Or a target, a concentric circle. The center point is God. That's good. Anything that emanates outwardly away from God is not good. It's evil. But I don't believe evil exists. Good exists, and then the absence of good exists, right? God and the absence of God. Light and the absence of light. I don't believe in darkness either.
Really?
Only light. That's why the light always wins. That's why it's not afraid of the dark.
That's amazing. Yes, ma'am. I saw your hair, right? Okay.
I would say that evil is ego, and everything that has no ego is good.
Okay. Okay. This young man right in front of you want to respond. How would you define good and how would you define evil?
I would say good is God, and evil is not God.
Not God.
Not God.
Oh, okay. Good, and just to add to what you always said, good is anything that causes you to wake up. And evil is anything that prevents you from waking up. Anything that prevents you from waking up is evil. Whether it's food, alcohol, fake friends, fake family members, fake relationships, fake marriage, fake everything, fake love. Anything that prevents you from waking up is evil. And anything that causes you to wake up is good. So when you feel shy around other people and you feel the pain of shyness or whatever, that's good. Because you're seeing what's not you. It's waking you up to you. But if you didn't feel it and it was there, it'll be evil. If somebody was just nice to you to try not to make you feel shy, they're being evil. That's evil. But when like you were talking about your friend being honest, when your friends are being honest with you, whether you want to see it or not, that's good. But if they pretend like you're all right, but you're really not all right, and they know it, that's evil, if they don't tell you. That makes sense? Yeah. Did you have your hand? Yeah, go ahead, real fast.
But what do you tell a person that is in evil? So when a person is in evil, they think they're doing good.
Every ego thing is good.
Okay.
When people go downtown to feed the hunger, the Christian, to feed the hunger, the hungry, however you say it. I'm black and slow, forgive me. You know how the churches go downtown, they have these big buckets of food? They are evil.
Why is that evil?
Because they are preventing the people from seeing what's going on with them. They are giving them drugs by giving them food, and the other people think they're fine. They get them fed, they have houses, they don't have to do it, they don't have to suffer.
It's better to watch somebody suffer.
And then the people that are feeding them are evil because they're getting a fake ego feeling from it. Oh, I'm a good Christian. I go downtown and feed the homeless. I go over to Africa and save the lost.
So you would rather see someone suffer?
Yes.
So
Oh,
if
ask
somebody
that question.
came to your door- If somebody came to your door and was hungry, okay, and they could smell your roast beef cooking and it smelled great, okay, would you give them a meal, or would you say no, suffer, and close the door on them? I mean,
It all
that doesn't
depends.
seem right.
No, but if it's a person that you have to wait for the moment and you'll see what to do. I can't plan to do that or plan not to do that, right? But I need to be aware enough to see if this person is just a bum with no intent to change him or herself, then I wouldn't give it to him. But if it's a different occasion, then yeah. And then I'll have to see myself well enough to see my motive.
But it shouldn't, the motive shouldn't.
Am I doing it to feel like a Christian?
But
Am I
they
doing it
shouldn't have to
feel
be a
good?
bum for you to feel good, or for not to feel good, or to have any feeling. They
Well-
should be. Could be an. I mean, if the person standing on the end of the freeway was in a three-piece suit, I think I would still give money. Instead of the regular person that I generally see, who's maybe a bum. They're still in need of something, whatever
With a
it
three-piece
is.
suit on, you say?
Well, I said if that person was asking for money and they had three-piece suit, I would feel the same way as I do about the homeless
Well,
person that stands there.
And what would that be?
Well, the homeless person that stands there, I know they're homeless. I give them money every day. It's not for my ego, and somebody has a need for something, and I may have something extra, which I don't, but I look at it like, hey, that could be God. You don't know. There could be a message there.
But if you got to question it, it could be God, then it's not God. Because if it was God, you would know it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I get you. But I don't think somebody should have to suffer to get.
Why
you know.
not? God let them suffer.
So we're going to let everybody in Skid Row suffer?
God will let everyone suffer.
That's wrong.
That's wrong for God to do that?
I believe so.
Why?
If
We'll
that's
tell
what you're
God
saying.
that's wrong.
I don't want to tell God that. I'm telling you. Yeah, because I know a lot of people that feed the homeless, and
Yeah.
I think, and I
They are
know
evil
that they
people.
do it from their heart.
No. We can challenge that.
Okay.
Okay, the next person you meet that's feeding the homeless, just say to them, you know, I notice you're an evil person.
No, I will
You
not say
feed the
that to
homeless.
them.
And
I
wh-
will
listen,
not.
And why how they go off on you?
No,
I'm
I
not
just made a
evil.
new friend,
I'm doing
and
this
she's
because of love.
No, I just met a new friend, and she just told me yesterday, oh, we make 85 meals and take them to the Skid Row in the morning. And I just think that's beautiful.
That's Satan's daughter.
No, it is not.
Uh-huh.
She's-
Why is she bragging about it then?
No, we were talking about church. We were talking about
She's
do-gooders and
bragging
stuff.
about what she's doing. What you do in secret,
Wow.
just stay in secret.
Wow.
Right, that'd be beautiful.
She wasn't telling
Because
anybody.
she will
She
not
just
be
happened
getting
to
an
tell
ego
me.
feeling from it. Yes.
But she's been doing it for a long time, and
And
she
she's
just
gonna
barely mentioned it to me.
That's why she's glad to have homeless people. She could feel good. She could feel safe.
They do a lot of different things. They take presents for the kids.
Of
and
course. And they feel so holy doing it. I'm a good Christian. I get present to the homeless kids.
So you never give?
I do. But I
Okay.
do it in secret. And I don't feel anything about it. So I have no expectation for return.
I don't think they do either.
Yes, they do. Ask them.
I will.
Yeah, ask them.
Maybe.
Oh, Lord. I saw some hand, and I'm just so out of time. But really, when the ego die, then you shall live. And it ain't nothing like the way we've been living. It is nothing like the way we've been living at all. So you must forgive. Forgive your mothers. All human beings who are born through the woman must be born again of the Spirit of God. So don't let the devil tell you, I don't have no reason to forgive my mama. He's lying to you. He's lying to you because he doesn't want to lose your soul. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself. God said before you enter into the kingdom of heaven within, you must go and forgive because an angry heart is an evil heart. And an evil heart cannot enter into the kingdom of God. It won't be able to get in. All right? So and if your mother die, if she said, I need to be forgiving you, just say, no, you don't, because I'm just like you. You made me. Because that's what they'll say. Well, you were a bad teenager. You were doing exactly like her. You were her example. That's what she had created. All right, so don't fall for that one either. I'm telling you, once you forgive, everything's going to start changing. And now you got the power to destroy. The power of God will destroy it, not you. Because you can't do it on your own. All right? Last word. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, what's on your mind right now? What do you think about all this?
What I think?
Uh-huh.
I think I need to process everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that
So I
makes
can't
sense.
really say much.
Yeah, that makes sense. So do the silent prayer, www.silentprayer. Be still so the truth can catch up with you. And it ain't going to be pretty. I'm telling you right now, the devil is going to start screaming at you, yelling at you, telling you to pick up the phone, telling you to call your mama. Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
I can't get past that scary part.
Yeah, it is, but you will if you stay with it. What's scary about it for you?
It's scary. It's scary to me. I mean, it is pulls me out of my skin. I mean, it is
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
And to a point where I'll,
Yeah.
and I can't get to the next, I can't get over the hump. It's very difficult. I should say, I know I will, but I'm just waiting to get it in, to have that strength to go through it.
You will stay with it, even though you're weak. Stay with it, and eventually you'll be made strong because it is being destroyed. The devil doesn't want you to know it, but his nature is disappearing. It's just that you've been identified with it for so long, you thought it was you. You thought it was natural. Everybody get mad.
Well, I come out when I get scared like that, I curse. I
Yeah.
mean, and I just like son of a, I'm just like mad because wasn't able to stay with it.
Yeah, but don't judge yourself.
I know, but it's frustrating somewhat, but yeah, it's scary for me.
Okay, one last thing about that's not you being frustrated.
I know.
That's the devil that's frustrated. That the light is shining on it. You finally realize this thing, and the light is shining on it. But because it's in the imagination and the pain in the body, it feels like it's you,
Mhm.
but it's not you. That's not you at all. Really, and as this thing die, you will start to live. You will see you, and you're none of this stuff. It never was you.
Okay.
So stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. If you have to cry, cry. If you have to cuss, cuss. I do. Yeah.
That's what she did.
Yeah. Nice. And so, if somebody say something about you or to you or ruin your little reputation or whatever, and you feel the shockness of it, the pain, be glad for that. Really. And you're like shocked by it. I heard you stole a dollar bill. What? You get this shock in the body, right? Be glad for that. That's not you. You need to see that. You need to see it. And watch it. Don't do anything about it, but watch it. And it'll pass, and you'll be free. So let the shocks happen. All right? So do the silent prayer. Watch the thoughts. All you have to do is watch. God created us in his image, and we became a living being. And life will happen on its own. It will naturally happen. You don't have to worry about it. All right? Brand new biblical question. What isn't it?
You don't have it? I don't have it.
Ask Hank, what is it? Real fast. I thought I wrote it.
Is there such a thing as
Oh.
mental and emotional abuse? Is there such a thing as mental and emotional abuse is the new biblical
The
question.
brand new biblical question. Is there such thing as mental and emotional abuse? Anybody ever heard that before? He abused me emotionally. He abused me mentally. And now people going to jail. How you go to jail over mental abuse or emotional one? That's the biblical question for this week. What do you say to that? Is there such a thing as mental and emotional abuse?
Probably no, but I feel yes.
And why do you feel yes?
Because I think it's wrong to emotionally abuse somebody.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, and why is it wrong?
I mean, I know I shouldn't care, but it's people are just people being rude to you or evil to you, and I don't think that's right.
Have you ever mentally and emotionally abused someone?
Not on purpose, I guess.
Have you ever done it?
I don't think so.
You never mentally. Remember what I told you about the shock pain? So in your whole life, you never mentally or emotionally abused anyone?
I guess yes.
I guess?
I guess, yeah.
I could ask your husband now. He'll tell you.
Yes, him.
So have you?
Yes. Yeah.
Were you right to do that?
No,
Why'd
I
you do it?
wasn't. Because I was angry.
And anger is the nature of who?
The devil.
I rest my case.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Satan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the biblical question. Get on the straight and narrow path, folks, and stay there. And when the ego is dying, all of your little images, your little plans, and thinking you know God and all that, gonna disappear. And you shall know God. You shall know Him. All right? But you got to get on that straight and narrow and stay there. Become your own man. Become your own woman. And everybody else take the wide road that leads to destruction. Let them have it. You stay on the straight and narrow, and you'll be fine. All right? Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Okay.